Hey everyone, how are you? Hope everybody's doing okay. This is another video on SD-WAN. I think last video we're trying to set up a cEdge. We had the routing configurations done, and we were able to register or authenticate the cEdge to the validator, and then register on the vManage. Um, and we got this kind of logs, right? That the customer edge was authenticated successfully. Okay. Now we ran into some issues where I was looking at the OMP routes, and I wasn't learning anything. Okay. And in this video, we're gonna continue trying to set up a VPNs 10 and 20 in order to demonstrate the same configuration scheme or segmentation that we've done on the virtual edges. Okay, well, oops, that's wrong. But anyways, what I'm gonna do is, and also before I continue, last time this show was showing unavailable, and in the last video I did say that it takes a while for it to register and authenticate properly and show on the BFT connectivity, right? As a successful onboarding, right? But on their device, right, we can see now that we've got vEdge1, vEdge headquarters, and cEdge, right? And then on their controller, obviously, we have our manager, or smart, and validator. Okay, let's go back. So I think it's admin Cisco 123. Oops, did I? Admin Cisco 123. Okay, perfect. So last time we did check if we were receiving any routes, and now we are, right? It just takes a while for it to show, right? Because obviously this is a lab environment, and some of the outputs that you're looking for, at least to make sure that your customer edge or your virtual edge, especially customer edge after conversion to SD-WAN, right, as a controller, in controller mode, sorry, not as a controller, in controller mode, it does become a little slow. Okay. So what we'll do is we're going to configure this VoIP user, and we'll make sure that first let's check something. I think it's IPsec outbound connections, just to make sure that we have our IPsec tunnels. Remember, IPsec tunnels is phase 1 is DTLS, and phase 2 is ESP, right? So we have on customer edge, we have vEdge01 and vEdge headquarter. Okay. And then what we'll do is we're going to think about this. Also SD-WAN BFD sessions, I think. Okay. I guess, how do I say this properly? BFD will come up after your IPsec tunnels have been built. Okay. If there's no IPsec tunnels, then you don't have BFT sessions. You won't have any, right? And you have your TLOC callers, right? You have your source IP, and you have your destination IP. Even tells you the encapsulation, right? So let's look at some else. So let me make this bigger. Okay, so this is TLOCK's information for vEdge 1, right? So a TLOCK is combination of your system ID, your caller, and the encapsulating protocol. Okay, and remember, IPsec is for the transport data, right? And DTLS is used for control plane traffic. All right. So you had vEdge, you have your vEdge headquarters, and then local. Okay. All right. So what we'll do is we're going to make this smaller. Create a VRF, right? I think it's phone config transaction. So we'll do a VRF. It's basically the same thing as you would iOS XE, right? 20 because it's VPN 20, and then we're going to do IPv4. We're going to enable it. Okay. Exit, and then we're going to create a DHCP pool. Okay. IP DHCP. I think it's excluded. VRF. We're going to say 20, right? And then the IP is 50.1. That would be our gateway. Okay. All right, because what we're doing is we're using, let me zoom in a little bit more so that, so what we're doing is we are going to provide an IP address dynamically, configure this host or VoIP device here dynamically. Okay, so we'll create a pool, we'll call it VoIP. Okay. And then we'll say that this is in VRF 20. That's where the pool exists, right? All right. And then we'll define its network. Okay. It's a 50.0/24. Okay. And then a default gateway. That will be the local interface on this edge, customer edge. And then DNS server will be a let's do 216.81.15. All right, and then I will commit. Now let me show you the final configuration for this. Show SD-WAN running configuration, right? All right, so we have your system configuration, okay, to include your system IP, your site ID, organization name, and your validator. Remember that you have to authenticate to the validator, successfully authenticate, and then you are going to be, you authenticate to the manager, and then you onboard onto the manager, right? So, and then you have your two different VRF, right? You have VRF 10, that's your, I should have added description, but that's okay, that's your user. This VRF 20 is your VoIP. You have your different excluded address for each of the DHCP pools. You have your VoIP pool. You have your, well, I called it 192.168.200.0 VPN underscore, so just define this is a user space, okay? Under 10, you have your interface configuration, right? I need to configure for VoIP gateway, for the VoIP gateway. You have your SD-WAN configuration that will include your tunnel interface, type of encapsulation, type of colors, restrict or not restrict. In this case, we are. Your OMP configuration, certificate configuration. This is no longer a secure TLS version, so you may want to, under SSL proxy, change your TLS version to 2. Anyways, and then it's the type of tunneling encryption we're using, IPsec encryption we're using. So anyways, we still need to configure, let me move this here. Interface 3, so let's config transaction. Interface gigabit Ethernet 3. Description, I'm gonna say VoIP. We'll do IP address. We define it as 1. Okay. Then we're gonna do VRF forwarding 20. Unlike the iOS XE, where once you configure the VRF membership, it wipes the IP address, right? In this case, you know, you can do it that way and then no shut. Commit. Because it's directly connected, we won't have to do a quad 0 for it, so we should be okay. All right. All right. So now if I show run interface G2, show run interface G3, show run interface G3, we should have that. Okay, perfect. Now let's go into this Linux box. Okay, this is what we're going to be using as a, so it's Cisco. All right. The reason why the host name has been set, because I did set in the configuration here, right, when I bootstrapped it. So okay, so we have an IP, which is good, but we don't have a gateway. Let me see, show route or route. Don't think we have a gateway. We may have to configure a gateway. It is not. It's Linux, so let me see. Yeah, the gateway would be 50, so it would be. So let me first go into admin so that I don't have to super user. So what we'll do is we'll configure the. We'll add the default gateway, right? It would be 192.168.50.2, and then the interface to which it, oh, oops, it's that one. I think I screwed this up. Let me see, route. Should have something now. Okay, we have a, this is not good. So I have to remove, hold on, let's do this. Route add, it will be route add. I think it's remove or delete. Delete, I think it's delete. Delete. Yep. Perfect. Let's see now what we got. Okay, perfect. Don't know why I have to, but so what we'll do is we'll ping our gateway. Okay, we can ping the gateway. Now we'll ping this VoIP loopback that we created on core headquarters and see if we can get there. And this is, yep, we are getting there. Okay, successfully, right? So how did this work? Okay, let's go back here. So obviously we have a tunnel. Okay, we have an IPsec tunnel, and that's how the different TLOC to include VPN informations are shared, right? And I'll show you guys this right now. Okay, so right now I'm getting information from the vSmart, right? The policy node controller for VPN 10. Okay, that would be user VPN, and I'm getting information for VPN 20. Okay, so if you do show IP route OMP, right? But under SD-WAN, obviously you'll see, right? Under your normal, so you gotta remember you have your normal. That will be your VPN 0, right? Naturally, that's your global table, but you have your SD-WAN OMP routes. right? And I'm able to get to, I'm learning all this network on VPN 10 and 20, VPN 10 and 20, right? Okay. Now, it should be the same on VPN 20. Sorry, on the vEdge, right? So on the vEdge, we should have OMP routes. Okay, let's see. Admin Cisco 1, 2, 3. OMP routes. We should have. Why am I? Let's see. 192.168.200.0/24. Okay, that's user VPN 10, right? And this is received, right? This OMP route is learned from this vSmart, right? And the originator is the customer edge. So if you, let me show you. So okay, let's go back up. I don't know why I'm unable to. Okay, see, system IP is 111.13, right? That 13. So on vEdge 1, we're learning it, right? And then further down, it tells you the site, the critical information like site ID, you know, the type of route which we're learning, right? You can change the overlay ID. That could be like a tunnel ID. You have your T-lock, right? And especially the color. The color will separate different transport, right? This is how you set up your redundancy, right? Duplicate path. So from here, I should also be able to ping 192.168.200. That I think it's 2, right? And then we can also ping within 20, right? 50.2. Oops, 50.2, right? 50.2 is here, this network right here, 50.2. Okay. All right, perfect. So in this video, right, with between the last video and this video, we're able to onboard a customer edge. We work the trust and the authentication to the validator and to the manager, right? And the smart, right? And we're able to segment between separate user traffic between site 200, site 300, and site 400, so that we keep the users to the users, right? We give it their own route table, and the VoIP services, we give it their own route table. Currently, we do not have, or we're not allowing anyone that lives in the user tenant to be able to reach or communicate with a device within the VoIP services. Okay. Now going back to the the manager, right? You could, let me see, configuration, devices. Let's go here. Right. We were successfully able to onboard a vEdge 01, site 300 vEdge headquarters, and customer edge 400. Okay. All right. Now, in the next video, we're gonna start doing some route leaking. Okay. We'll do route leaking between. We'll create, as a matter of fact, I'll do this right now. We'll create a service that sits on, let me see how many nodes I have. Generally should, let me see. Right now I'm running 23 VM, I may be over the capacity. I don't know if, because I think I can run a maximum of 20 nodes. But what we'll do is we'll create maybe on PE1, we'll create a service, okay? We'll create a VRF, and then we'll assign this VRF an IP, I mean, we'll assign this VRF a loopback, and that will be an interface, right? Maybe, no, because this is global. Well, we can do that. It could be a resource on the internet, maybe. We can say, hey, everybody can talk to the internet, right? Or we'll put it on the iNet, right? It will be a service on the iNet, and then we'll have user services and VoIP services on each of the sites be able to communicate back to this global service that lives in the autonomous system 100. Okay. Well, this is the end of the video, right? I'll be looking forward to making the next video on route linking between different segments. Okay. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great weekend.